हमें थोड़ी देर बात नहीं आती है।
हाँ।
क्या करनी है, आप जाएं अपना काम शाम करें ना।
ये क्या नहीं, ये काम भी
अच्छा,
कर,
इधर काम करें।
ये काम भी, और मेरे कपड़े बहुत जमा होते हैं मुझे इकट्ठा कर।
अब मैं काम करूँ ना इधर यार, इधर रिकॉर्डिंग करूँ ना आप। Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. I welcome you all to the lecture number 13 for the course of Data and Computer Communication. My name is Engineer Jafar Ali and I am your instructor for this course. So let's start with the lecture. In the last class we have discussed about, in the last three lectures actually, we have discussed about these topics. We started our final term with this aloha actually. We did aloha, that what is aloha in this channel multiple this medium access techniques, or you can say medium access protocols. After that we learned about three of the main techniques that are used in a random access protocol. The first one is named as a CSMA, that is carrier sense multiple access. The second one was CSMA slash CD. It means carrier sense multiple access with collision detection, and we learned that how this protocol gets activated when there is collision, or when the data has been collided. After that, we learned about this another protocol that is known as CSMA slash CA, that is carrier sense multiple access with collision avoidance, and we learned that how this protocol is there to avoid the collision before its occurrence. Later on, we discussed about three of the main techniques that is used for scheduling for the channel, or you can say the medium for the Mac. The first one was reservation, in which the node basically reserves the right to use the channel before anyone else. So the second one was a polling, in which there is a poll conducted by the coordinator, or you can say administrator, and according to that poll, any user is assigned that channel or bandwidth, or you can say the medium. Later on, we discuss about the token passing, that if any node has that token, only that node or that device will be able to use that channel. Nodes without any token will not be able to use the channel. In the last class, in the last lecture actually, we discussed about three of the main techniques. The first one was TDMA, time division multiple access. The second one was FDMA, that is frequency division multiple access, and the last one was the combination of both of these. It was CDMA, that is code division multiple access. So this was the last lecture, and in today's class we are going to look at some of the main problems that are associated with the wireless Macs. So the first one is basically known as the hidden node problem. The second one that will be discussed will be exposed node problem. The third one will be the capture node problem, and later on we will discuss about the main issues that are there. The first issue will be the quality of service. The next one will be synchronization, and the last one would be the error. There are errors in the wireless Mac. So in the end of this lecture, I will tell you how you can basically, what are the key performance matrices, or what are the parameters that are used to identify or rank any Mac protocol. So this will be the brief. This is basically the brief of the lecture. Let's get started. So starting with the numerical portion from the previous lecture. So you know that this numerical was in the last lecture, and this twice of propagation delay. This is propagation delay, and this is transmission time. So any node, let's say this is your transmission node A, and this is your transmitter, and this is your node B, which is your receiver. Let's say this is node B and this is your receiver. So if A wants to send anything to B, so the transmission time should be at least twice of the propagation delay. It means that, let's say this node A has started transmitting at 12 o'clock, let's say 12 o'clock, and the time required for any packet to reach to this side at B, let's say this is 15 minutes. The time required, the propagation delay is 15 minutes. and let's say the transmission time was 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes the transmission will stop and this node A will go to sleep. So at 12:10 this node will be sleeping and it won't be there to receive anything. So after let's say and this packet is now sent and the collision has been occurred, let's say at this point, and this at this point let's say there was let's say this 10 minutes 10 minutes were taken for the packet to reach this at this point, and 5 minutes more were remaining to the pack for the packet to be received at this point B. But at after 10 minutes the packet is now, let's suppose, has been collided. So this won't be able to know, because when the packet will reach back to this point, the collided packet, it will be 12:20, because 10 minutes from here to here and 10 minutes from back. So at this time the node will be sleeping, so the node won't be able to know that the packet has been collided, and it will think that the packet has been sent. So for this node to know that the packet has been collided, it is necessary that the this node is awake, and for this node to be awake the transmission time should be at least twice of the propagation delay. So this is the theme behind this formula, and you know that the transmission time is basically equal to the length of the message and divided by the bandwidth, or we can say the total capacity. This is not the same thing, but the formula would be the same. Thus, for the length of the message, the message should be this is L should be equal to twice of propagation delay. If you equate both of these, you can know that the length of the message should be equal to twice of the propagation delay multiplied with the bandwidth. And in the previous lecture, we have also derived that the efficiency for the CSMA CD is given by this formula, and this A is nothing but the ratio between the propagation delay and the transmission time. So let's start with the quick numerical. Consider a consider a CSMA CD network transmits a data at the rate of let's say 10 power 8 megabits bits per second, or you can say 100 Mbps, or it also known as 10 power 8 bits per second, and the length of the cable is, let's say, 1 kilometer with no repeaters. If the minimum frame size is, let's say, 1250, so what will be the speed of the signal? It is asked us to find the speed of the signal in that wire, in that cable, that 1 kilometer cable. What would be the speed of the data, or this signal speed? So you know that according to the formula, the transmission time should be equal to twice or greater than the propagation delay. The transmission time is also equal to the length of message divided by the bandwidth. If you equate both of these, you can find this, and you know that the speed is propagation delay, and this is equal to the distance multiplied divided by the speed. And by equating this thing, you can put this equation over here, and you will get this. And if you want to find the speed, you just have to shift this speed over here, and you have to shift this all over here. So this will become B. This formula will now be there, and if you put the values of the bandwidth, the frame size, and the cable length over here, you can get the formula. You can get the value of this speed, and this is equal to 20,000 km per second. So the speed of the packet would be 20,000 km per second in that cable. So let's go ahead and discuss another problem that is associated with the wireless MAC. This is known as the exposed node problem. So in the exposed node problem, let's say B is transmitting to A. In this scenario, let's consider that this B is transmitting something to A, but C wants to transmit something to D. C wants to transmit anything to D, but C senses the transmission, because C will sense that B is now transmitting to somewhere, and it will decline its transmission, so it will wait. So there will be a huge delay, and this is known as exposed node problem, because C can now send the data to D, because it is on this side, but C will think that maybe this B is dealing with D, because this C is sensing that B is now transmitting, and it does not know to which this B is transmitting. So C will think that this data is now being sent to this D. So this will hold its data and will not send to anyone, and it will cause a huge delay. And this delay, C would basically C is not doing anything wrong, but he is trying to basically prevent any collision. So this is another problem associated with the this wireless Mac. The second problem is basically the hidden node problem. I'll tell you what is hidden node problem. In the hidden node problem, there is the scene is basically a scenario is changed. Let's say this B is now want to transmit something to C. It's not. Let's say this C is now transmitting something to C, and this D doesn't know about this transmission. D will think that C is idle because it won't be sensing any busy state or any channel busy channel. So D will think that this C is idle, and it will start transmitting its data towards C because this B is hidden to D. So this is known as hidden node problem. This is hidden node problem. C is since this B is hidden with the this B is hidden from D, so D won't be able to know that this B is busy with this C, and D will think that C is idle, so it will start sending, and the data will be collided at C because C is now in the middle of a communication from B, so the data will be collided at C. So this is known as hidden node problem. These two are basically the most important problem. The first one is exposed node, and the second one is hidden node problem. Let's go ahead. There is another problem that is known as capture problem. So if A and C, let's say, are transmitting simultaneously to B, and the signal power of C received at B is higher than of A. Let's say this there is C and this is B, and this this A is actually transmitting to B, and this C is also transmitting to this B. But this power, you know that this is less distance as compared to this, so the power received at B of C will be much greater than the power received of A at B. So there is a good probability that this C signal can be correctly decoded in the presence of A transmission. So this is known as a capture node problem. Because of the distance, the powers is being changed, and the results are now not equal or not fair. You can say this is not fair sharing of channel. This is unfair sharing of channel with the preference given to the nodes closer to the receiver. So as much as closer you get towards the receiver, you will get the higher priority, and as far as you go from the receiver, you will get less priority. So this is not a good case or not a fair case in such conditions. There is some other issues with the wireless Mac, and the first most important one is basically the quality of service, QS. So you know that there are several type of services: audio services, video services, image services, text services. There are many services, and the qualities of that service is basically ranked in different orders of depending upon the services. But overall, you can see that quality of service can as difficult because when the nodes are mobile. So as the node is made mobile, node is basically a device or a terminal or a entity, you can say, or a equipment, user equipment. So if the node is basically keep moving, it's on the move, so this quality basically degrades, and because of the lack of the coordination, this quality of service now has been compromised, and the value or the rank will be degraded. So this quality of service is a huge of mess when there comes mobility. The second one is synchronization. A transmitter and receiver both needs to be have nodes have to be synchronized, because the more synchronization is there, the less chance of error will be there. So there is an important point of synchronization, that the transmitter and receiver must be synchronized towards each other, so that, and by synchronization I means that the transmitter and receiver both uh, uh, of these devices should be using the same clock. The same clock will be there to for them to be synchronized. The next one is the burst and errors, and this is defined as the bit error rate. I have also discussed it with you in the previous class. So this is known as bit error rate, and it is normally represented as 10 to the power minus any value. Let's say minus 3. So it means there will be 1 out of 1000 bits that would be in error. Means if you have sent 1000 bits, there would be 1 bit that would be an error bit. Similarly, if the BER is, let's say, 10 power minus 6, so it means there would, or let's say minus 4, so there would be, this means there would be 1 divided by 10,000. So there would be 1 bit at error in the 10,000. So you see that as the power is basically reducing, minus 3 to minus 4, the bit error is now very good. Earlier there was 1 bit out of 1000 that was in the error. Now there is 1 bit out of 10,000. So the error chance is being round reduced. So this is known as this bit error rate, and because of this wireless MAC, this bit error rate can be high. So it means the higher the higher the packet bit error rate, it means packet loss is there. So to minimize the packet loss, you can use smaller packets to minimize this, and you can also use several correction techniques for, you can say, forward error correction techniques. This is known as FES, forward action correction scheme, FECS, and retransmission methods such as acknowledgement of the packets. So using these methodologies and algorithms, you can use along with this bit error rate, so that you can get a good quality. Let's talk about the performance matrices, or you can say the parameters that are there to identify if the MAC is good or not. So the first one is delay. So by delay I mean the average time spent by a packet in a MAC queue. It is the average is a function of protocol and traffic characteristics. So the average time spent by any packet in the MAC queue, you know that MAC has a lot of packets to deal with, and it forms a queue. So the average time taken by any packet, let's say there are 6 packets, so the average time of all of these 6 packets will be divided by 6, and average time will be there. So this average time will be the delay for any packet that was there in the MAC queue. Next is the throughput. This is the fraction of the channel capacity used for the data transmission. The next thing is fairness. We have also discussed about the fairness, that MAC protocol should be fair. It should be providing the channel access to all of the users with the same amount of resources, not any specific user with the maximum resources, and not to any minimum resources to any user. So all the resources should be divided among all the users equally, not on some intentional favor or anything like that. The last one is stability. Our system should be stable and can handle multiple instantaneous loads that are greater than the maximum sustained load. So our MAC protocol should be stable MAC protocol. The most important one is basically the power consumption. You know that most of the wireless device are the issues regarding the wireless power transmission is basically the loss of the power that is dissipated across that load, because in wireless transmission there are much retransmissions as compared to wired, and because of that retransmission the energy required to transmit is basically increased. So the energy consumption or the power consumption is increased. So MAC protocol should be designed in such a way, or should be implemented in such a way that it basically reduces this power consumption. So the less power consumption MAC, the greater the performance and the greater battery time will be there for that node, and the lifetime of that device will be increased. So MAC should be decided upon this power consumption as well. And in the last, there is support for multimedia. Let's say there are several protocols that need to treat packets from various applications, and based on their delay constraints. So MAC protocol should be in such a way adjusted in such a way so that it can support multiple type of data. You know about the multimedia. It includes audio, video, images. So a Mac should be designed in such a way so that it can support all of that multimedia, not a specific. There are also several applications and Mac protocols that are designated, let's say, only for images. But a good Mac protocol is basically based on the multimedia as well. If it is supporting multimedia, you can say that it is a vast Mac protocol. And in the last, there is basically a last thing that is known as robustness against channel fading. If the channel is gets faded, there should be a MAC protocol that basically acts robust instead of waiting and calling anyone for help. It basically take another path, or you can say this robustness includes means that to cover up so that if any channel or any link fails, the device should be able to route another a path and to find another route or path so that it can continue its transmission instead of waiting for others to help. So a MAC protocol should be robust as well. So this is the overview of today's lecture. In the today's class, we started with the numerical problem that was with the CSMACD. We also discussed CSMACD. We also did 2 or 3 problems of CSMA and CSMA-CA and Aloha as well. And in continuation to that, we also discussed some issues that are associated with the wireless MAC. The first one was exposed node problem, in which the nodes are exposed to each other and they are waiting. So this causes delay. The second one was hidden node problems, in which the nodes are basically hidden from each other, so it causes collision. You can see that one of the problem is basically causing collision, and the second one is causing the higher delay. And later on, we discuss about the capture problem, which is basically causing the issues of fairness. So the device or the node closer to the receiver is basically getting more resources as compared to the one that are far away. Later on, we discuss about some other issues that are there, that is quality of service, synchronization, error issues, and in the last, we discuss different matrices on which you can basically determine or rank any MAC. So there were 7 or 8. You can see that 1, 2, 3. And 4, this 7. There were 7 performance metrics that I this is not the end. Basically, there are many more features that you can add it, but these were the important ones. There are about hundreds of features that you can add to rank any MAC, but these 7 were really important. So that is why I have just mentioned that. You can take other one from your book as well. So this was all about today's lecture. I hope that you have learned quite a lot, and I will really appreciate if you bring some questions with you along with you in the class as well. Or if you are not able to attend the class because of any reason, you can email me directly, or you can ask me on my WhatsApp. You have my WhatsApp. So I'll see you in the class. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.